couple of weeks ago, the Division I Council announced its proposal to alter college football's recruiting calendar. Most notably, it would create two early signing periods, one in June before a prospect's senior year, the other in December of the senior season. This would be in addition to the current February signing date. The early dates would be accompanied by early official visits, meaning schools could pay for prospective student athletes to visit their campuses starting on June 1st before their senior year. Currently, official visits occur only once a prospect's senior year of high school has begun. But Yahoo's Dan Wetzel wrote about this proposal last week. He joins us now on the phone. And Dan, I know you think this could have significant benefits for the Big Ten. Why is that?
Well, I think part of it is obvious for all of us who live in the Midwest. It's a lot nicer to be here in June than in January. Right now, about 3/4 of all official visits go down in January and February. You try taking a tour of campus. It's cold. It's hard to get to campus. You have flight delays, all the different things that go on. It's not the best look. Meanwhile, you go down south on a recruiting visit for a player, and it's great. The weather's nice, and you don't want to go back up north. Everybody just knows that. That's just natural. If a portion of those recruiting visits, maybe it's 25%, maybe it's 50%, because I think that June period is going to be big, you're now touring Minneapolis and Iowa City and East Lansing in June. It's beautiful. There's more going on. You can see campus and all of that. And conversely, you go down south and it's hot and it's humid and it's not that nice. It's just a simple weather thing. By shifting the recruiting calendar upside down, there's a significant benefit for all the northern schools, Big Ten and others.
Honestly, Dan, as you describe it, I mean, to me, the big issue has been also for the Big Ten schools, particularly some of the more geographically isolated ones, simply getting kids on campus. I mean, as you know, a lot of the recruiting right now happens in unofficial visits. We're talking about officials here. Honestly, if you just moved up the ability to have kids on official visits without even changing the signing day, it still seems to me that would help the Big Ten. Not that that proposal's on the table, but official visits are often just a formality the way that the schedule is now. I mean, kids have already committed, have they not?
They have, and by moving, I think, the signing period up, official visits will be a bigger deal.
Right. And
that's certainly beneficial because now, let's say, you're Iowa and you're trying to get some kids from Detroit to get in. They can't afford to fly it, but maybe they drive. But then if it's in the winter, it's a tough drive, or you might just not be able to make it. Where in the summer it'd be easier, but now you'd be able to fly them in. I just think the more opportunity you have for players to see Big Ten campuses and northern campuses in their best weather is just an advantage, and conversely, worse in the South. Now, I don't think it's a big deal for Ohio State or Michigan or Notre Dame. Those programs in the North are always going to get great players and always have. But I think for the rest of the league, an Iowa State or a Syracuse or those kind of places, I think you have a much better advantage of getting guys up there and seeing it. Minneapolis is a great, great city, except in January. Not that great of a city, but it's awful great in June. And you go there and you see a city come alive. Much better situation.
So, Dan, where's the resistance coming from here?
Well, there's a lot of issues with the early signing period and whether it's fair to have kids sign and be committed that far and for a whole season, especially when you see so many coaches get fired or coaches move. So there's really not that reasoning, I think, is going to be a big issue. It also pushes the recruiting calendar earlier, and for particularly for academically elite schools, it's hard to necessarily project whether someone's going to get into your college off of just their junior year. It also may punish or not necessarily reward kids that has a great senior year and might have earned, say, a Big Ten scholarship, but that scholarships are all filled up, and so they're not able to do that. So there's a lot of resistance out there. The vote is not certain, but I do think one of the things that could be beneficial for at least northern schools is that change of the calendar.
And obviously not every school is going to fill up its entire class with the early period, so there would still be the possibility to have that great senior year and to have an opportunity to sign. Right. Real quick before we let you go, what's the time frame on the vote here, Dan?
Most likely the vote will not happen until April at the Commissioners' Council, or I'm not sure the exact verbiage of whatever the NCAA group is that would do it. but they will vote in April in Indianapolis on that. In the meantime, I think there'll be continued discussion amongst coaches and athletic directors about what the right move here is.
Dan Wetzel from Yahoo Sports and co-host of the Wetzel to 40 podcast, I might add. Thanks a lot for your time.
Anytime. Take care.